It is Brother Derek's assertion or conclusion that the war on drugs is one of the things that has systematically devalued the black female. Systematically devalued the black female. When they put crack on the streets, and you know they put crack on the street, right? You know that, right? Just so you know. So many of our sisters got strung out on this crack because conditions were created where they wanted to escape this thing called life. Lots of brothers got locked up for selling the dope. Am I right?
That's right.
So they systematically decimated the ranks of the black male. They did this for like a hot 20 years. Then in the 90s they came along and they privatized prisons and literally put us back into straight up modern day slavery, right? Now, when you look at the ratio in what they call the free world right now, for every 100 black women, there are only 83 black men. See how it confused me? Because it's unnatural, right? For every 100 black women, only 83 black men. So that means if you line up 100 black women and they all wanted to have a healthy relationship, they want to have a family, they want to have this thing called a nuclear family, you're basically saying that 17 of them are already disqualified just because of the ratio. And you wonder why black women are frustrated. My question, and I won't start with the brothers. I'll start with the brothers because anytime you have an overabundance of a product on the market, Brother Warren, the product loses its value, right? Right? So does this ratio cause us, or does it affect the way we see black women? Does it affect the way we see our sisters? Will we be less patient and less tolerant with a sister in her growth because we already know, hey, there's more on the market? Will we step away from a relationship with a good woman because we know that we got a whole array of other sisters to choose from, but the sisters don't have that same dynamic to deal with? Does the ratio affect the way we see black women? Introduce yourself.
My name is Rudy Sutherland. I just love these folks, and I love what they're doing, and that's all that is. But on the real, it's at degrees, because it's at levels. Because within our own framework, you've got different economic levels that affects. In other words, let's say you got a brother or brothers and sisters that are at graduate school level, right? So then you got an even smaller sliver, and you've got the dynamic of brothers looking at the sisters, but then also looking at the mosaic of other women of other nationalities to explore, at the same time that they're comparing them to the sisters that are there. And then you've got the sub-dynamic of where I come from. Well, my grandfather was a CTA worker, Chicago Transit Authority worker, and he was blue collar. And on the blue collar level, sisters and brothers deal with things a little bit differently, right? And so you got the same dynamic. You've got more women, less men, and then you've got men discounted by the system itself, right? Because we start from -0 from day one, right? Especially if you're blue collar. I mean, come on, you can't get in the union. If you union, you first one hired, first one fired, the whole 9 yards. Work north, south, it don't matter. We have that whole dynamic that we're dealing with. So the complexities, I mean, it's like spaghetti logic. It really is. But I can say this unequivocally. That whole dynamic, it affects the way we look at y'all. And I can speak from it from both levels. That level and that level. It affects us because on one level, we're looking at the fact that we don't want to disappoint you. A brother does not, on the strength, a brother does not want to disappoint his woman at a fundamental level. And white men understand that fact. They understand that fact because they are the same way. Because we are defined by our women. And so if we don't want to disappoint you, yet we're put in a no-win situation where we are unequivocally at some point going to disappoint you. That one disappointment, if you don't understand that and process that within the grand scheme of the way sisters used to 30 years ago, which they did, they understood. They were not the sisters of today. They understood that fundamental. And so if you don't process that, well, what do? Now you hold the brother hostage on the fact that he, dang, every time something go wrong, well, you lost your job. You didn't make it happen. It didn't rain. And then that's what happens. So I'm saying that sisters on the strength. Sisters on the strength. What we need to remember is, I don't care how much time has passed, we still black. We're still black in a system that was designed organically, legally. The legal framework is fundamentally designed so that we fail. It's up to y'all to uplift us. I'm done.
Oriented, because I believe in knowing the numbers, and I believe in hearing what people have to say, but at the end of the day, the lack of knowledge that most brothers have out there and how to be able to approach it, because I think you need to understand the psyche of what has been done over the years, why we act like we act, why they act like they act, and why it cannot work. And if you can run into somebody that's open for making adjustments, see, adjustments have to be done by us. We cannot depend on the system. We have to surround ourselves with people who like, because they say the energy you give is the energy you receive. So you have to really understand that. They say if you are in a dark place, people dress up dark places really good. They dress up dark places, I mean, beautiful. It looks good to you, like, oh my God, etc., etc. And remember that energy you give is the energy you receive. So no matter what, if you're in a dark place, you're in a raggedy place, raggedy people meet raggedy people. You know what I'm saying? Them two raggedy people get together, they have raggedy kids. After a while, they get out in the world, and them raggedy kids grow up with other raggedy kids, etc., etc. After a while, your whole world is raggedy. So you got to get to a point where you understand that. Even most of you really understand this knowledge. They say everybody in here, everything great that happens to you is because of you. Everything bad that happens to you is because of you. At the end of the day, if you make adjustments to yourself, they say change your mindset, change your life. Change your mindset, change your life, and things around you will adjust. That's a common denominator, and I get it. We get frustrated. Our experiences are really not for us. Our experiences are for everybody behind us. So we don't walk with this bucket of anger, like we have a big bucket of anger that we just want to pour out on people because of what has happened to us, because we look at this like this selfish plight, but technically they say it's an 8-year-old version of each of you all out there. It's an 8-year-old version of you out there. Yeah. So in 10 years, they're going to be 18, and everything that you have come through, all the relationships that you've embodied to be able to try to find who you are, all of that is wisdom, and it's not. So you have to be so unique in everything that you learn to be able to spit that back to somebody, some young person who is strained and angered up about things that have happened in their relationships, about how to be able to look at things differently. We have a tendency of having so much of a tunnel vision that we don't even respect the fact that we've grown. See, when you grow, sometimes it takes you to go through something else to see how you've grown in that situation. Not understanding, really understanding that no matter what, one thing you ain't gonna be away from is issues. Issues are the one thing that as you elevate in life and you constantly move to the one thing that we all know we're gonna do, which is eventually die, as you continuously move there, no matter what, you are going to have issues. And issues are the biggest thing that you have to understand. How you handle them will define how you do in everything in your life, even your relationships.